Hello and welcome to Seesar Gear. And today, gearheads, we're going to talk about the CSIDMAN from Catalinbread. And this is a delay unit, but I postulate that this is a delay unit unlike any one that you've heard before. It is actually intended to emulate a broken CD player, and it does a brilliant job of it. It obviously can take a signal and chop it up and duplicate it and spread it out over time, just like any other delay unit can. But this lovely, tasty item here also can jerk that selected repeat around such that it glitches. It acts like somebody's running with a CD player, and they're jogging, and every time they take a step it shakes and glitches. And even more fun is that because you can exploit that, you can turn this into an absolutely wonderful self-oscillating, glitching, just sound bath. I mean, it is so much fun. It sounds so good. I can't even, I'm just excited to even do this video. I know it's ridiculous. When I saw the demo for this by Catalinbread, I was initially like, okay, it's like a delay unit. Okay, it's got a little jangly guitar thing. And that developed into the madness that made me buy it. And this is also the reason that I have this channel. I realized watching the demo from this that many guitar pedal demos and other synth demos were very heavily focused on consonant presentation, melodic material, harmonic material, things that were Western tuned, things that were tangible to maybe a larger number of people. I don't want to downmouth it too much because that's where the money is. I realize that I would love for my dream of noise music to be a household thing, but at this point, it's not exactly the case. So the money comes from where people in general are listening to things that they're used to and get excited about and see value in the production of that music, meaning they perceive the performances with those things to be highly technical, or they're just valued in a different way than the way that noise music is valued. And I'm speaking from a general point of view. Obviously, I'm not speaking for everyone or anyone in particular. However, I do feel like that's the trend, right? You see most items being demonstrated for a mass public, which is understandable because that's you reach a wide audience. Again, I'm not down-mouthing anything. It's where I wanted to come in, though. I wanted to be able to assist people who were making noise music and experimental music, finding gear that helps them do what they do versus helping them, creating a situation where it's difficult for them to know what a gear is going to do or not. So we're skipping all the regular delay stuff on this. We're skipping even the regular glitchy stuff on this. That's things you can do on your own if you want to do it. But what I want to get to is the tasty, meaty part for the glitch musicians, which is the self-oscillation that has so many layers, so many interactions between the different things that it generates. I find this to be a pedal that you can use entirely as a self-oscillating show by itself. I've done it a couple of times, and it is fabulous. I mean, I can't thank Catalinbread enough for this great gear. I've got other things by them too. It's what triggered me to buy this one as well. I will probably be doing reviews of some of their other pedals as well, but this one is the one that really pushed me to do the things that I do and do the things that I do as a content creator as well. All right, I'm going to shut up about me. Let's talk about this fabulous piece of gear. So first of all, you have a mix. Let's say you've got an input of whatever coming in. You can obviously turn the mix all the way down and get nothing but the pure signal. When there's nothing in there, when it's self-oscillating and it is not drawing from any outside source, you can sort of use this as a volume, because when the mix is down and it's fully dry and there's no input, you faded out the effects. So it's handy if you're using it like I'm about to use it with no input. You have, as with any delay pedal, a feedback control, so you can control the amount of repeats, as they build up on top of each other. And then you have the time, which is the distance between the repeats. Normal delay type stuff, right? And then you have the glitchy stuff. You have the cuts, which is the size of the chopped up element that ends up being mixed into the feedback loop. And then you have the latch, which is how strongly does this cut up bit return and get looped into the self oscillation. And I mean, you can think of it as, the glitchiness level, I guess, something like that. But between all of these five factors, you can undulate the feedback that's happening to have just amazing effects and amazing textures that would be, I would say, just not available on other delay units. There's plenty of delay units that are great, and there's plenty of delay units that self-oscillate. That's not anything new and exciting, even though it is exciting. But this one in particular is literally lets you paint a soundscape entirely with the glitches and the feedback. So I mean, I know I'm ultra praising it, and I'm just running my bloody mouth is what I'm doing. But I don't want you to think that this review basically has no value to it whatsoever. Oh, it's a delay unit. Why am I watching this? Well, you're watching this for what's about to happen, which is the crazy no input sound bath that your ear holes are going to get out of this awesome demo. And I don't mean it's awesome because of me, because I am a chump. I mean, it's an awesome machine, and I really, 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 really think it's fabulous. All right, here we go. Let's give it a spin, and yeah, we're gonna make some noises, and I'm going to turn on my amp because I see from across the room there's no light on my amp. I wonder what's happening. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Let's make some tasty noises. Good times. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I know I definitely had a little 5 minute spaz out there. Um, that's the kind of thing you can do. And I was actually kind of purposefully trying to rotate through more sounds, keep it a little bit more active. There's also nothing on this. Something I find really useful is to put a little bit of reverb on this. As much as I like to baste the universe in reverb and hide behind a wash of spooky darkness, this particular pedal sounds really good with just a light reverb, enough to give it some depth, enough to give it some darkness, and fill it out a little bit so that it's not entirely sharp digital roughness. But some people are going to prefer that, so that's something you can do, is keep this glitchy digital really harsh sound. And you also obviously can put other effects on it too. There's modulations and whatnot. That's another thing that I sometimes do, is I have a pedal called the Divine, and it's basically a series of LFOs that give you different shimmering modulation overlays. So that's something else that works pretty well with this. And there's another glitchy type pedal, the Data Corruptor, that works pretty well. That's a series of reverbs and delays. It's a EQD pedal that works well alongside this. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The final thing that I'll say about adding pedals is one that I'll potentially demo in the future. Here is one called the Total Sonic Annihilation, which is a feedback looping pedal from Death by Audio. And this works great with that because you already have the feedback loop going. And if you turn this into a feedback loop with that pedal, you get even more crazy textures on top of each other. And the feedback loop pedal works great because it's an analog pedal. But this is obviously, I'm going to say 90% a digital pedal, probably. I haven't been inside to check it out, but it seems like it's all digital. So the combination of the two gives you a really good balance of different types of feedback. So that's something else you can do with this one. Anyway, okay. I will shut up. I will say that I have done multiple performances with this. I will also say that I've had my students do performances with this exact very pedal, and I've even had some students misuse this proper, like with putting in the wrong power supply and doing some dumb things with it that unfortunately were potentially harmful. But the pedal has survived, and it is really well built. It is fantastic in terms of performativity. You have subtle movements with each of the knobs, but I believe they're linear knobs. They feel like they are pretty straightforward with shifting between parameters, and it's comfortable enough to play in this position. It's not intended for that particularly, I guess, but the way that I play it, obviously I constantly shift the parameters, and so you have to consider whether or not it is ergonomically feasible to do that for any long period of time, and this is. It's certainly something that I can lose several hours. I said in my Instagram description of the brief prelude to this video that it's a time bandit, and it is. I get lost in this one. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've been able to find some information that's useful, especially if you're considering getting one, or if you hadn't heard of it and you're itching to go out and get one. Do it. Find them. I'm not even sure if they make them anymore, but I think they do. I should probably have checked on that ahead of time. I know that there was a period where they weren't made, and this is potentially a second batch of the pedal. But if you can find one, it is so worth it. thank you so much for watching. If you want to hear more reviews like this and more my rambling or some more noises that I make, check out SeesarMusic.com/gear. If you want to check out my IG page, my IG accounts, there's Seesar_music and Seesar_gear. And I'm also working on a new project with taking graphic notation and turning it into Lovecraftian horror soundscapes. So if you're interested in checking out some of my graphic scores or even playing them or whatnot, please get in touch. All the information's on the website. All right, thank you so much. I will see you in the next one.